do this.
Something like that.
Something like 3, 2, 1. Disney.
Welcome to.
I hate you.
I just wanted to mess you up.
I can see that. I'm
just
going to look at
kidding.
you.
Welcome to what's
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Disney Plus Day. Was it good? I'm Ravi, joined by Arjuna. We're missing Christian, unfortunately. And we're going to dive into everything good, bad, and weird with the Disney Plus Day and figure out what was worth it, what wasn't worth it, and then obviously answer that age-old question of, was it good? We are the Was It Good podcast. We also have Mr. Learman over producing for us today as well. Arjuna, before we kind of break all of the various categories that is Disney, you know, ranging from Pixar, animation, Marvel, and all that crap, let me just ask you a very simple question. Why Disney Plus Day?
Yeah, real quick, I want to backtrack. Is it that unfortunate that Christian isn't here?
For today?
Yeah.
Why would you say it's unfortunate?
No, I'm asking. You said it was unfortunate.
Oh, it wasn't. Yes.
Is it that unfortunate?
I like to think that when there's 3 of us here, we kind of level each other out. Like, so our previous pod, Arjuna wasn't here, and it was on Eternals, and Christian and I did it, and it was, for the most part, pretty positive.
Yeah, it was uber positive.
It was super
It
positive.
was too positive for my liking.
Yeah, I mean, definitely check that pod out to hear kind of our thoughts. But if you had been here, I think it would have been a nice, you know, balance, maybe more of a discussion in terms of the bad portions of that.
I don't want to overreact, but that movie did try to kill me.
Again, maybe one day we'll explain why. I mean, that's entirely your story to tell. Let's first wait till we're in the clear of things, and then maybe we could go back and retell that story.
But in terms of why Disney Plus Day,
yeah,
you know, I think there's one, you know, easy reason. You know, I think, you know, you and I have both worked in corporate America now for several years. And I think there's just one easy way to answer.
Want to hear something real quick about working corporate America?
Yeah.
I realized the other day I have worked in corporate America for 14 years.
Wow.
That's depressing.
Fuck.
Yeah. I'm just gonna sit here and be depressed now.
I mean, I've been in the workforce for a long time too. You know, if I go back to my Kenobi like work days,
That wasn't a corporation. It's privately owned.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
you work for a small business to a degree.
Yeah, I mean, but when you've worked in the workforce and when you've worked for different companies and different corporations, you kind of realize that, especially at these large companies, you think that all these ideas are well laid out plans, and you know, there's a lot of thinking and a lot of prep and a lot of plan, and you know, for some of them there definitely is, but I think how Disney Plus Day came around was someone was like, hey, you know what we should do? You know, Shang-Chi is going to come out on November 12th. We should, like, make a whole day around it and make it a day. And someone's like, yeah, we have a couple other things that come out, and, like, yeah, we'll do that. And then they were, like, to all the different, you know, big kind of, like, heads of Disney Plus, you know, Marvel and Star Wars and Pixar were like, oh yeah, everybody do your own thing. And they're like, yeah, you know, Marvel, you do a thing, Pixar, you do a thing. And I was like, yeah. And some people took it seriously, like,
some people took the assignment seriously.
Yeah, Marvel were like, Marvel put together this amazing 14-minute, really well cut, edited sizzle that, as you pointed out, if you hadn't seen any of the current Disney Plus shows and you watched that,
ruined
it. If you hadn't seen any of the 2021 shows, ruined it. But really well cut sizzle that both, you know, reviewed some of the stuff that came out this year and previewed what's to come. Really well done. Really well thought out. Was a really well polished thing. And then you saw the, you know, on the other end of the spectrum, you saw the 4-minute product that Pixar put out, which was
silence. I think your brain's breaking.
I don't know. I don't know how to compare
like
this.
Your brain is literally breaking.
I don't know how to compare this because I don't know who to insult here, right? I don't know how to compare this because it's like whoever I compare this to is insulting to them, right? Because if I say like an intern put this together, this is insulting to an intern.
Yeah.
Or if I compare this to like, a fifth grader put this together, like that's an insulting to a fifth grader.
I don't think you have to go. I don't think you have to like insult or whatever. I think you said it right at the beginning. Like
you're right. It's
some people took the assignment seriously. Some people just kind of half-assed it, and I started with the question why Disney Plus Day, kind of as a push your button type thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, the big reason, like going back to your point of corporations, their purpose
Corporations are people, my friend.
Yeah, yes, my friend, they are people. Corporations, their purpose is to make money, to get new investors. Yeah. A year ago around this time, Disney had what they called Disney Investor Day, and that was a big live stream that was put out for everyone to kind of watch on social, on certain like Disney O&O channels.
By the way, way more successful.
Well, the big difference though between last year's Disney Investor Day and today's event, what they call Disney Plus Day, Investor Day was basically all the content and then even some product experiences and theme parks that is Disney, right? Today's Disney Plus Day was solely Disney Plus, which means all you got you didn't even get everything really. You got a lot of logos, but you also got a little bit of insight in terms of some of the newer series and things that are coming out. Before we jump into like the big three, which is Marvel, Star Wars, Pixar, there are a couple of standouts that I want to bring up real quick. So Nat Geo is obviously a Disney property. They have a couple of interesting series coming out, like documentary type series. The big one I would say was the Will Smith one, where he basically said to Nat Geo, "I want a worldwide vacation." They said, "Sure. We'll pay for it, but you just have to get on camera."
We've known about this one for a while.
Yeah, we've known about this one for a while, but what I love is the name of the series was released, which is Welcome to Your Earth.
We've known the name, though, too.
We have?
Yeah, they announced the name last year.
Well, I mean, hearing it and seeing it, I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah.
There's that, and then the other one that I thought was kind of interesting was because obviously Disney owns 20th Century, they also own FX and all that, or Fox and all that fun stuff, and that comes with Predator or the Predator series. So there is a new Predator film coming out in summer of 2022 on Hulu, not Disney Plus, so confusing. Well, yeah, I guess in the US. But it's a new Predator movie called Prey. Takes place in the past. Kind of cool. Predator looks awesome. We'll see what happens. But those were the cool non-big three, I think, that I was interested in. Did you see anything outside the big three that you cared for?
A couple other standouts were our producer just mentioned the one of the big ones was Chip 'n Dale.
I never liked Chip 'n Dale as a kid.
I wasn't into that either. That wasn't something I think any of us were into on the podcast.
Yeah, okay, boomer.
It was my favorite. And the video game, they had a video game. It was the best video game.
Was that NES or Super NES?
It's NES, I think.
It's John Mulaney and Andy Samberg. It's the voices, I believe.
Oh, wow. That might be interesting.
Of the two. So that's a big one. The Proud Family reboot is coming as well.
Wait, the Proud Family? Yeah. I missed that.
Proud Family reboot's coming in February, which is going to be really cool. And they have literally a crap ton of guest stars that's coming for that show, which would be really cool. That's another big one. And then the other big one from Disney, from like the Walt Disney Animation Studio, is the Princess and the Frog, the Princess Tiana musical show that they're doing in 2023, which is coming, which is like a musical show that they just released like a still image for. And I think that was it outside of the big three. Oh, Baymax. Yes, Baymax was the other one. They showed a little trailer for that, which is cool. This is not the first thing outside of Big Hero 6. There was like an animated Big Hero 6 show that was kind of like anime style. That was on like Disney XD. Yep. One of the Disney channels.
Properties.
Whatever. They have so many Disney spin-off whatever channels. But this is actually in the style of Big Hero 6. It looks fun, of very much of the original style of that. And I think they also announced a Zootopia shorts type of thing, like Zootopia Life. That's just like little shorts within the Zootopia world that I saw, but I didn't see any like video.
The furries are going to love that.
I just want to see my boy Flash, the sloth, like the guy who's like really slow. Like, yeah, that guy's great. That guy.
This past Halloween, actually, somebody on Reddit posted they worked at the DMV and one of their coworkers dressed up as
the sloth.
The sloth,
Flash?
yeah,
That's great.
which is amazing.
But did he work extra slow?
Probably worked the regular speed, but that's fine.
Ooh,
what the DMV is terrible. I'm trying to get Real ID right now. I might give up.
I mean,
I might literally just give up.
It got delayed till like 2023. I think.
Till 2023, but at the same time, like, I might just give up.
You have 2 years to get it, so it's fine.
Yeah, I'll revisit that in 6 months.
Well, you have 2 years.
We'll set this pod as the reminder whenever somebody looks back at inevitably and they're like, did you ever get that Real ID?
Yeah.
It's 2024. No.
Episode 300, you can set the reminder.
There you go. But let's dive into it. Marvel, Pixar, Star Wars. If you're okay with it, I think we should start at Star Wars.
Star Wars.
And there's one simple reason. There's only one fucking thing for Star Wars, and that was the Obi-Wan Kenobi teaser that they showed. We got to see our boy McGregor.
McGregor just
fucking McGregor
with his mask on, with a little pole, doing some choreography,
doing some dancing. Then we saw a bunch of concept art, and then
some digital renderings,
right. and that's about it.
It was it's
great.
Yeah, it was.
So fun fact that so Disney Plus Day was supposed to be Friday, November 12th, or it is Friday, November 12th. The Obi-Wan Kenobi teaser actually leaked Thursday morning. So I saw that Thursday morning at like 7 a.m. all over the internet. Tons of people broke down the concept art. You'll notice that the ship where there's two stormtroopers, it's a black Imperial looking ship. It looks like it's the second sister walking. So that's kind of interesting. We also got to see Vader sitting in some kind of chair looking at some hologram of something. We also got to see what looks to be Obi-Wan Kenobi and Vader on Mustafar fighting. Mustafar. Overall, cool, I guess. I don't know how, I guess the problem is the hype buildup around today. Everyone was saying that we'd get like a proper trailer or teaser trailer. And instead we got more, I wouldn't call this a teaser. This is more just an inside look.
Yeah.
Or behind the scenes.
I don't mind it because I feel like Obi-Wan is one of those shows where, and maybe it's because we're Star Wars fans, but also I feel like Obi-Wan is a property where it's like you kind of know what you're getting. Like you understand who the character is. You understand what the show is kind of going to be about. We know where the character ends. We kind of know it takes place in this middle ground.
Not the high ground.
Yeah, exactly. I don't mind there being like it being a secret almost, right?
Yeah.
I think Star Wars almost does better when it doesn't reveal too much, and it kind of almost follows the Mandalorian path of don't show too much, don't show your cards.
Yeah.
It's clearly something that's worked for them, at least on the Disney Plus side.
Right.
And I don't mind them trying to replicate that formula. We talked obviously a couple weeks ago about the Book of Boba trailer. And we're
not telling you anything really.
Yeah, not telling you anything. Yeah. We're like, was this bad? What does that mean? And it's like, I don't mind that formula for Star Wars and kind of taking that path. It's like, I don't need all the information to be spoon-fed to us or anything like that. I kind of like the mystery. I kind of like going in and discovering whatever the story is.
So let's say first episode comes out.
Sure.
For Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh, no.
And,
don't say it.
It's basically he's a farmer. It's 45 minutes of him farming, getting a little bit of trouble in, the bad parts of Mos Eisley. And then at the very end, he's going into his little hut thing, and there's Baby Yoda. Little Grogu just chilling right there. What do you do? Tell me, go. He's just like, sup, my G.
So
things Gucci.
I would say then they took the formula a little, too on
hard.
The T.
Yep.
Of like, okay, Grogu has to be in everything on Disney Plus. Because then, if that happened, that must mean Grogu also showed up in Book of Boba. And he'll just show up in every possible
Bad Batch season 2 shows up. Andor
everywhere.
shows up.
Just Grogu. He's.
I mean, it would make sense if he shows up in Ahsoka.
He's basically Kang. He just shows up.
He just shows up everywhere. Yeah.
He just somehow.
Like I said, I want to start with Star Wars because, again, it was just this one real piece of content. The other thing that they showcased or they highlighted on Twitter, because basically I would argue that the Twitter is kind of where all the announcements and action was happening, because Twitter is a really good platform for real time updates and all that.
It's still the best. I would
still the best for that. So the other piece of content that they dropped was Under the Helmet book, Boba Fett. And it was a nice kind of like vignette, if you will, to tell us who is this character, where did it come from, the history of Boba Fett. And that was kind of interesting. It showcased like a lot behind the scenes, even with I believe the actor's name is Daniel Logan, who played
the original Boba Fett,
the young Boba Fett.
Oh, right.
From the Clone Wars, right. And they also showed like some old behind the scene footage, of this young actor actually seeing who Boba Fett was, because he was I think 8 or 9 at the time of filming of Clone Wars. So that was kind of cool, and then also like I didn't know that the very first time the Boba Fett costume is ever actually seen in public was a parade in George Lucas's like California hometown. They did like a weird Star Wars parade where there's a Darth Vader walking the street and then Boba Fett walking the street. This is just after, or a couple months before the release of Empire, or even I think before they even start filming for Empire.
Wow. And
like they're doing like just a walk parade thing, and a bunch of fans of Star Wars or Episode 4 like, who is this character? And like, so Boba Fett really took the world, by storm very early on. So that was cool. But beyond those two pieces of things, we didn't get anything for Andor. No mention of Mandalorian, or if there ever will be another Mandalorian. Nothing on the Ahsoka series. Nothing on Bad Batch. Basically nothing on any other Star Wars Disney Plus property.
So here's my counter take to yours, I think. I don't mind that. I kind of don't mind them taking the anti-Marvel approach, because, Marvel dumps a bunch of info at us of like, here's our roadmap, here's everything that's coming over the next year, here's the logos, here's the trailers, here's all the series and stuff. I kind of like Star Wars playing the long game of like, we're going to spread stuff out, we're not going to give you a lot of info, it'll come when it comes, we're not going to tell you about it. And it's just like, I don't need to know what the Andor show's about, or Ahsoka's about, or anything like that. Like,
I think it's about Andor.
Say again. Oh, thank you, producer Michael. Yes, okay. Yeah, I think the shows will be about their names, but I just kind of like knowing very little about the shows, and not having a bunch of trailers and a bunch of behind the scenes type of info about them, and just having them, Star Wars is, maybe I'm romanticizing a little bit, but like Star Wars, I feel like just does better with like the mystery behind it, and like when it has that, appeal of when it comes at you, and it's quote unquote special. I don't know, like I just don't want it to fall into that Marvel, every 3 months is a new type of property. Like that was, if we go back to the Last Jedi Solo thing, when it was the 6 months between that, a lot of people, us included, felt like maybe the reason Solo didn't do so well was because there was like that Star Wars oversaturation, because there were two Star Wars in 6 months, right? And it's like, should there be less Star Wars, right, in between? Should there be less time?
Well, I think
more time.
The big thing too is like there are two different properties, in the sense that Star Wars at this point is 40 plus years old.
Right.
Marvel, or the MCU, is what, 12?
2008. So 13.
13 years old. Mm-hmm. And Marvel came out where it was very clear that it was going to be a ramp up very quickly,
sure,
while Star Wars has been, for the most part, it's a very slow burn.
Yeah.
So I guess it kind of makes sense. I think from a marketing standpoint, they do their things, quite differently. Marvel is like, in your face. While, Star Wars is, I think, more romanticized. Like, the fact, like, if you look at the two things that were released today, one's a behind the scene of an upcoming show, but it really highlighted the idea of Obi-Wan Kenobi versus Darth Vader, which is, that's the first fight that I can ever remember in my life in terms of, like, two things fighting each other.
Right.
Besides the fights of our parents. No, I'm kidding.
They were just as epic. Who had the high ground?
Yeah, exactly. I have the high ground. And then the other one is, celebrating this character of Boba Fett and where it's, where we started and like where it's kind of going with this new series and everything. So I think, I'm indifferent. I think in between, like, I think I got the hype in my head where I was like, I'm going to see some new stuff and have more like diving into it. Then again, in 6 months, we have Star Wars Celebration. Yeah. We have May the 4th where we know tons of shit comes out. And then we also have in roughly 6 weeks from the taping of this pod, we have Book of Boba coming out. So it's not like we're starving that much for content.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of Star Wars coming out.
We also have a Super Bowl coming up where I'm sure Disney will either drop a new... My guess is for the Super Bowl commercial, Disney, specifically Disney Plus, will drop like a big ass, fat, chunky, moist, ointment-driven trailer that's just a super showcase of like all the big properties or big things to come.
Sure.
Because that would be the easiest way to like do it. Like, hey, this is our lineup essentially for 2022.
And if Disney and all these other companies have ever proven something, they love to spend money exorbitantly when they can. And the Super Bowl is the time to do that.
Give the NFL more money.
Yeah.
They need it.
Yeah.
For the lawsuits that are coming from John Gruden.
Whoops.
Anywho, let's get into Pixar because I love hearing you get mad. I'll be honest with you. The only thing I kind of looked at was the Baymax stuff.
Right.
And then when I saw the Cars stuff, I just I think my brain just closed my eyes for me and turned my ears off. Like, like when a computer shuts down? That was me during Cars.
Well, Cars has always been there. Cars has been like the Pixar sellout in terms of, they've done 3 of those movies. I mean, I guess Toy Story was also their sellout. Like, they've done 4 of those.
Did they also do, like, airplanes, too, or something?
Yeah, airplanes, planes 1, 2, and 3. Cars has always been, like, their suit. Like, kids love Cars. Cars has always been, like, obviously a super popular toy.
How long, when did the first Cars come out?
2006.
Okay, then the kids they're in their 20s now.
Yeah.
They can't possibly like Cars anymore.
But kids, kids, the market research is market research, man.
I'm a boomer.
Clearly. Toys sell, man.
How can these kids still like fucking Cars?
And Larry the Cable Guy clearly still needs the money. So, but yeah, I mean, it's still popular. Like it's still a popular franchise. It's still there. I think the most interesting thing for Pixar was the original series that they're making, which is Win or Lose, which is like this baseball show that they're making. And I thought what was interesting is like they're doing the perspective from like each of the different players, like as they kind of talked about in the when they were talking about the show was like, talking about the star player, talking about like the kid who is kind of watching it in their own world, and like the coach who is the dad and everything. I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. That's kind of cool to like do something like that. And I think this is the first Pixar short
form.
Yeah, it's like actual like streaming show. So I was like,
they've done their shorts before movies.
They've done like 10-minute shows, but they've never done like a streaming series, right? So I think this will actually be cool. And this is, I think Pixar. What I've really always loved about Pixar as a company, and
they've made you cry.
Studio, well, no, I've always loved that. I always think when they look at like subject matters for their films, they always took an interesting perspective, right? Mm-hmm. And I think this is just another really interesting perspective on something that you can do like in an animated way, especially with like the perspectives of like each individual on the team. So I just kind of wonder with the series is like every episode focus on a different individual, and will it take on a different animation style? And
then when will ESPN and synergy occur
Hopefully never.
It will.
Hopefully Disney just sells ESPN at some point.
Well, I mean, did you hear? I mean, we're going a little off topic here, but earlier in the week, Bob Chapek, current CEO of Disney, has said that gambling and betting is a huge growth opportunity for ESPN and their sports division. And the fact that the average consumer, this is market research done by Disney, market research that they have presented claims that most individuals do not see ESPN and Disney as the same company, which to Bob Chapek means that they can go down the gambling rabbit hole with ESPN because it won't affect the family orientation that is the Disney brand.
I mean, that's how they kind of view Hulu, right? Because like people don't see Hulu as Disney, so that's where they can pretty much put all their adult content. So I guess it works for them. It was like Miramax was Disney, right?
Yeah, at one point. Yeah,
before they had Hulu and such. So it's like Hulu is now kind of their adult.
Miramax made some really interesting movies.
Was Miramax Titanic?
I think so.
I don't know.
Or was Titanic? I thought that was 20th Century.
I don't know.
Who cares?
It was before my time.
Oh, also comment here. Don't forget about Monsters at Work. That's also a Pixar series.
That already came out though.
Did it?
Season 1. Is there season 2?
I mean, if they did, they probably showed a title card.
Yeah, season 2, baby.
There you go. Speaking of title cards, an organization that has really honed in on saying, hey, 15 title cards is not enough title cards.
What about 20?
What about 50? Marvel's presentation, again, Arjun, you said it right at the beginning. It was a 14-minute sizzle that they dropped.
Well cut.
Very well cut. Like I actually watched it. I was like, fuck, maybe I should go back and like watch like I kind of want to like maybe this week might go back and rewatch like WandaVision all the way through, like Loki again, like the second half of Loki.
Maybe we want to rewatch all the Marvel shows
except Falcon Winter Soldier.
No, even Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I just want to watch when Secret Agent loses his shit. That was funny.
I wanted to watch all the scenes that actually have Sam in them, because that's the actual good part of the show. Everything else is not good.
But I mean, the Marvel stuff was interesting. We got kind of a recap of 2021. We got a kind of extended look at Hawkeye, not Hot Guy, Hawkeye.
Hot Guy.
Hawkeye. Is it Hawkeye or Hawkeye? Hawkeye. Oh my God, my tongue hurts in my throat.
Say Hawkeye 3 times.
That was cool. The action sequence, it looks legit. Looks kind of cool. It doesn't feel hokey and TV. It feels kind of a little bit higher up, not movie-esque.
Good banter.
Really good banter.
They got good crack.
We also we got to see Oscar Isaac as Moon Knight with a weird sounding British accent potentially, or that could have been Ethan Hawke. We don't know. We also got a quick look at She-Hulk. We got a quick look at Ms. Marvel. We got an action pose of Nick Fury for Secret Invasion. And then we got title cards gone wild. One of the things that I thought was interesting with the title cards, a lot of people kind of dug in on the title cards, and a lot were kind of basically saying how a lot of the title cards seemed or felt very high school.
I mean, this was the complaint last year, too. I don't remember Investor Day.
Yeah.
Where people were like, why do all these title cards suck? And, it's the same.
They continued that art style.
But, I mean, let's give our graphic designers, a little break. Because I'm sure some of these were maybe thrown together and they're not the final thing. And, like,
what if they are?
Well, you know what? Everyone has a difference of opinion, and it's okay, right? It's okay to not like something.
Yeah, but I can still make fun of it.
Yeah, but you know what? Someone
get off your high horse. Get off your high horse.
That's what they did. It's fine.
How do you feel though? Like we talked a little bit between Star Wars and Marvel, where it's like Star Wars didn't reveal everything.
Yeah.
Marvel's just like, hey, here's a bunch of shit. Go talk about it amongst yourselves.
Like it's at the point of I don't know. It almost feels like it's at the point of parody now, where it almost feels like it legitimately feels like we're at the point of where you're watching like one of those like those spoof movies, and it's, you know, they're just doing the funny bits where it's like, you know, I kind of think of Tropic Thunder, right, where Ben Stiller does the sequels to all his movies, and that's what I feel like Marvel's doing, where you're getting the continuation of every line of like literally every single thread in the MCU. And it's like, I'm gonna watch all these shows, but it's just so many. It's just a lot, and that's what I feel like when I see every show, and I can't help but just chuckle. I'm like, so how many shows are there? And it's just like, and like, this is all in the next 2 years. You know what I mean? And I'm
this is 2022, 2023.
I will say there was one show, legitimately one show that I saw, which was a surprise, and it was a new announcement that I was, you know, that got me pumped and legitimately almost saved Disney Plus Day. And this is the one I really want to talk about, and that is X-Men 97. And that is the beloved 90s animated X-Men show. And you know, I think I can safely say that for yourself, myself, and Krishna, that is potentially the show that got us into Marvel.
And our dad.
Right?
We used to watch that with our dad all the time.
You know, like that was a pivotal show for us.
Are you gonna go back and rewatch?
Hell yeah!
Because it's currently on Disney Plus, the entire thing.
We have to do a rewatch for the show, and then watch the new one.
Well, it's 2023,
right? So we can probably wait and then watch it in like next year, leading up into the show.
Should probably watch one a week.
Probably.
I mean, because they did like 100+ episodes.
Is it that many?
I believe so.
Damn.
It ran for a good while there.
In Kansas, they only showed 3 of those episodes over and over again.
Michael told us, Michael, correct me if I'm wrong, you said up until last year, you believe there were only 3 episodes.
Not just 3. I didn't think they got to finish their first season, because every time I would watch the show, which I loved, it was always the Bishop comes from the future episode. Every time.
Great episode.
Seriously.
Great episode.
Great arc.
Great arc. Man, that's a tough existence where you thought like that was it.
Yeah, I have not seen all of it.
Wow, that's tough.
I mean, it was a nice surprise. They also, like, in really good social form, they used everybody's favorite Wolverine looking at
the
Jean Grey picture, and they put, you know, instead of the Jean Grey picture, they just put, you know, coming 2023. So that's kind of cool. I'm wondering about the animation style and how they're gonna maintain. I mean, I guess computers can do it now, but
I mean, they'd be able to bang out like 100 episodes in a minute.
I mean, they would probably change something.
No, they gotta keep the original animation, man.
I mean, then the original
like, as bad.
It'll take
the bad dub and everything.
It will take forever, though.
No. It should be super easy.
So here's a bigger question, though. With it being Disney Plus, with it being Marvel, with it being an old X-Men show, is it somehow connected to the MCU through a multiverse, is it its own separate thing? And
well, it could be both, right? I think by designating it 97, you're calling it in the same universe as that. But you can now designate it as its own multiverse within that 97 multiverse, right? So it exists within its own universe.
Mm-hmm. So it's its own universe.
It's its own universe, but it's within that 90s universe.
So then, fast forward to 2023. The X-Men show's playing out.
Sure.
The first season, goes through. Sure. Really cool, interesting story. It ends with the X-Men breaking through their multiverse into the main MCU universe, and that's how you get the X-Men.
So do they boost out live action from the animation?
I don't think it would work that way, but I think But this is how I think Marvel and the MCU has always played out. I think if the show somehow ended up being super popular, right? I think if it did like banana numbers and was trending on Twitter.
You heard it here first. Banana numbers.
Banana numbers.
Arjuna, please quantify banana numbers.
Banana numbers. I'm talking about we're moving crates.
Crates of bananas.
Crates of bananas.
What about shiploads of bananas?
Donkey Kong would go mad. He He would steal the princess.
Oh my god.
Those type. No, but you know what I'm like.
Yeah.
I'm saying it would. Like this is it would be a show that matches the. It's the number one show on Disney Plus, and it's the top trending topic on Twitter every time it's on, and it's trending for days on Twitter, right?
And merchandise has to be
the merchandise is going through the roof, and it's basically in the consciousness of every Marvel fan, right? It's so integral, right, to MCU fans that it then becomes a consideration of like, okay, maybe now this becomes part of the MCU continuity.
Real quick,
I bet they keep themselves open enough to integrate it into the MCU.
Sorry, I just thought of something. We used to like that show. Did our parents ever keep any of the X-Men toys?
I think our parents still have some of the toys.
Because that shit's gonna be worth like some interesting money in a couple of years. We should end the pod and go find out. There you go.
And that's how we became rich.
There you go. Or we could just scan them and turn them into NFT things. And
oh man,
yeah, there you go. Yeah. There's just so much. I'm just looking at this list. I'm like, where do I look?
I mean, the big things. The three live action shows we got our very first looks at were Moon Knight, She-Hulk, and Miss Marvel. Of those three, which were you most interested or intrigued by?
Oscar Isaac.
Are you in love with him?
Yes.
Are you in love? Okay, here's my question. Right, so we obviously saw him recently in Dune with the full beard look. And here, he's clean shaven.
What is this question?
Do you prefer? Well, you just said you're in love with him. Do you prefer him with the beard or without? Do you like him with? Do you like him?
I like him with the beard because if I see him clean shaven, it reminds me of this really shitty trilogy called Star Wars.
Fly now.
7, 8, and 9. Yeah. Oh my god.
I want to look at him in the beard, but kiss him without it.
I like that answer.
That's an interesting answer.
Good answer, Michael.
But no, I think Moon Knight is honestly all three of them. I think are gonna be they're gonna be radically different, right? Miss Marvel is not about Captain Marvel. It's about a New
Kamala Khan.
Yeah, a New York teenager who is Muslim, who gets superpowers.
So there's a controversy now behind this.
Of course. Because why wouldn't there be?
No. Well, so the controversy, in the comics,
yes,
Miss Marvel has the
stretching ability. Yeah.
Now they're not doing stretchy powers for Disney Plus.
What are they doing?
They're doing like some weird
cosmic.
Yeah, some more cosmic.
Yeah, and you kind of saw that in the which reminded me of from WandaVision.
Kind of, yeah.
When what is her name? When she went through
the Phantom Zone?
Not the Phantom Zone. When she broke into like Wanda's world.
Monica Rambeau.
Yeah, when Rambeau went through it reminded me of that kind of look.
Yeah.
So is that what's happening potentially?
Yeah, I think that, and I think also there's an argument that they're maybe saving the stretchy powers for Mr. Fantastic, for the Fantastic Four movie. There's maybe
because the consumer can't understand two people with
potentially that, and also there's like the concern, that the stretchy power that it's too expensive maybe to do for streaming. I'm not sure, but that's the creative decision they've made, and that she won't have.
I'll be honest, if that's the only controversy, then cool.
Yeah,
that's fine.
And then the other big thing for the show is originally it was supposed to come out summer of 2021, and it's now been pushed back to summer of 2022. We know it's there's been reports in like the Hollywood Reporter and Vanity Fair that there's been some like reshoots and stuff. So people are concerned that why have there been reshoots? What have they changed about the show? Like what's changed about that? And then there's also been reshoots for The Marvels, which is the Captain Marvel movie, which will also have Kamala Khan and Monica Rambeau. Which is going to be obviously tightly connected to it as well. So there's a lot of connective tissue to it.
What in the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
So there's obviously we're not sure if it's the problem stems from the movie or from the show or from both. But that's kind of everything that's going on with this show and the movie.
And then She-Hulk is going to be Law and Order.
Yeah.
Basically, courtroom
with
drama.
the actress from Orphan Black. Yeah.
Oh, nice. I didn't even realize she's from Orphan Black.
Yeah, she plays all the characters.
Nice. But also Bruce Banner or Mark Ruffalo showed up in the trailer.
Ruffles is back.
You know what? I'm going to bet that's just a quick cameo. I don't think he's going to be a regular.
He's a regular.
Nope. He's a regular cameo.
And our guy from Tim Roth is going to be
Captain
Abomination. He's back.
The general, right?
No, the
the actual Abomination.
yeah,
yes.
Who was in Shang-Chi? He's back. I believe the general. I'm forgetting his name right now.
Rhodes.
Thunderbolt Ross. Yeah,
Ross.
It will also be back for this one as well.
Wow, he's in 2 Disney Plus shows.
Yeah, he's going to be in a lot. And one thing to know about the Hulk was we saw him briefly. He was in his Smart Hulk form again. We saw him obviously at the end of Shang-Chi. He was in human form. His arm was in a sling. But here in the She-Hulk trailer, he was in his Smart Hulk, and his arm didn't appear to be damaged. So we're not sure if...
Yeah, we don't know when this
We don't know
place.
if this is before maybe Endgame. Maybe this is before Endgame, or maybe this is between Infinity War and Endgame. Maybe this is post, and this is... His arm is healed somehow. Maybe this is a different reality. You know, there's a ton
It would be fascinating if this show, for whatever reason, is during the 5-year blip.
Could be. I mean, there is legitimately a ton of possibilities they could do.
Because it's not like the world just stopped for 5 years.
Right.
Actually, we haven't heard a whole lot of what's happening during that time period. So,
and it's probably pretty hectic and Mad Maxy. That would make it.
Well, I bet there's a whole lot going on legally, right? In terms of people moving in on new properties, a whole slew of things. That'd be kind of cool, actually, if the show was half the show took place during the blip, and then after the blip, and before the blip is when she's kind of figuring out law and everything and her place there, and then after the blip, now she's an advocate for all those that returned, and that'd be kind of cool. I'd watch that.
Judge Trudy is rumored to be in the show.
Are you serious?
No, but
didn't she get a new show?
Yeah, just Trudy.
No Judge. Judy.
Yeah, not Trudy.
Yeah, who's Trudy?
I don't know.
Is Trudy your weird neighbor?
No.
You call her Judge Trudy?
Judge Trudy.
My neighbor, Judge Trudy. She brings me waffles.
Yeah, just Trudy.
Waffles with bananas. Unpeeled bananas. I don't know why.
That reminds me of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air episode where Will just bites into an unpeeled banana.
Yuck.
It's delicious.
Marvel Zombies. Are you excited for that?
No.
Why?
I don't know. Marvel.
It's gonna be Walking Dead.
I think Marvel Zombies the comic is really cool, but I honestly thought I wasn't thrilled with that episode of What If.
You know what? You know why? I can explain it very simply.
Why?
The What If episode with the zombies wasn't that impactful or interesting because they had the consistent stupid Marvel joke, and that just kind of diffused the whole horror that is
Marvel Zombies.
Yeah. If you're gonna do it, again, all we saw was a title card, so we have no fucking idea what it could be about or where or whatever, right? If they do it serious and I kind of joke, but I'm kind of serious, Walking Dead-esque style, where it's
sure.
Do Walking Dead, but the zombies are fucking superheroes. That's scary. That's legitimately scary.
I just also don't know, within the parameters of where they set that zombie world, where they could go, right? Because at least where they left it, right? The remaining surviving Avengers were going to Wakanda
forever,
for the cure, and zombie Thanos was there, and so they were basically going in to die.
Yep. And
then when they did open up the portal in the final episode, they got Zombie Wanda to come out. So it's they're kind of screwed.
Again, we don't know if that's going to take place in the What If zombie world.
Yeah, I guess
or
so.
if it's a new zombie world.
Yeah,
and we don't know if it's animation or if it's live action. Because again, all we saw was a title card.
Well,
that's
they kind of showed the zombies from the What If when they showed it. Yeah, they did. So I I guess I would assume. Maybe it's a stretch. I'm assuming because they already did it through What If, and they did that animation, right? If you're looking at production,
Right.
they would probably do the same because they have it built out.
No.
But who knows?
No,
Maybe
they're not doing that.
I would think it would be cheaper.
No. And then Spider-Man freshman year.
I'm actually intrigued by this.
I mean, we don't know who's voice acting him.
Drake Bell.
Peter Parker.
Oh,
boy, Drake Bell.
Well, Drake Bell did voice one of the last Spider-Man, but he's in jail now, so.
Is he in jail?
Yeah, you didn't hear about this?
I knew he was going to jail, but I didn't know he was
he's in
jail.
He's in jail.
Wow, that's weird because his Spider-Man show is still on Disney Plus.
Wow. Oh.
Also, I didn't realize that Spider-Man show had like 6 or 8 seasons or something.
Wow. What?
Yeah, and like it spans like Sinister Six. It does like the multiverse of Spider-Man. It does a whole bunch of shit. It's crazy.
They need to bring back that 90s Spider-Man show like they brought back the 90s X-Men show.
I mean, the sequel to the 90s Spider-Man show is Spider-Man Unlimited.
Yeah.
When he goes to that weird planet with Venom and Carnage.
Yeah.
And then that series kind of ends, and then, I mean, you could, in theory, continue the story from there.
Remember the MTV Spider-Man with
that was
Neil Patrick
terrible.
Harris?
That was terrible.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
That was very stupid. It was like this weird, corny CGI. It was more like teenage, young adult themed.
I just remember like staying up. It was like a Thursday, or it was like a Tuesday or a Wednesday.
It was on MTV.
Yeah, you, Krishna, and I would like watch that, and it was
Yeah.
like our 8 o'clock show, and then Mom, Dad would send us to bed after, and every week we would watch it, and we would all go to bed, and we're like, "What the fuck was that?
What the fuck did we just
like,
watch?
And we were just like, what the fuck? Is there going to be more? Then there just wasn't. And we were like, oh, I guess there's no more. And we're just like, oh, well.
Yeah. Life goes on. Life was so much simpler then.
But yeah, I mean, so the weird thing about the Spider-Man shows, they're really billing it as like, this is the Tom Holland Spider-Man. This is his like freshman. This is like his freshman
year of college.
No, of high school. So this is like the year before.
Oh, so it's a prequel.
Yeah, it's before Homecoming. So
Okay.
basically when he was before he met Iron Man,
So before Civil War.
Kind of like his year one. You
Gotcha.
know, like if you're using the Batman analogy, like it's year 2 for the Matt Reeves one. So this would be like Uncle Ben and all that shit, essentially.
So the origin story of Spider-Man.
Yeah, essentially.
You gonna watch it? Honestly?
They're saying it's like MCU related. I'm kind of interested to see what it is. Animated Spider-Man.
I'm a boomer, I guess, at this point. But like, I've seen the origin of Spider-Man
so many times,
so many fucking times. I can't imagine it's gonna be that.
Yeah.
If different or impactful.
I want to see what it's like. I'll probably give the first episode a try, and then if I'm not like sold, I would probably let it go pretty quick.
Yeah.
The guy that got to do it has got a lot of real young kids looking shows going on. So it might be for an indoctrination type show.
That would make sense. You get the younger fans that are now just picking up Spider-Man. They don't have the billion origin stories of Spider-Man, so makes sense. Speaking of Spider-Man, so I went down this weird rabbit hole the other day of Disney Plus and looking at all the various Spider-Man shows. So I was watching like the Drake Bell one. I looked at some of the 1990s anime Spider-Man, and then I found like the Amazing Spider-Man from the 80s.
Oh, the older ones.
Way older ones. No. This was animated.
We watched some of those older ones.
But there was one that I was watching where Magneto was controlling the world's power and was going to drop an asteroid on them.
Like X-Men Magneto?
Yeah. It was very bizarre and very weird, and it's very strange.
I mean,
different times.
But you know what's funny? Go back to the plot of the 2000 X-Men movie.
Isn't that when Magneto was changing humans into mutants?
Yes. Like, the plot is corny as hell. Like, he's trying to use a machine to change humans into fucking mutants.
And he turned one into jelly.
Yeah, I'm but if you go back further, like, the plot's just more
The plots
ridiculous.
are always very kind of like, what?
Yeah, you're like, wait, you're using a machine to turn people into hot dogs? Like, that's essentially what it is. And it's like, oh, okay.
That's basically what this freshman year Spider-Man I think is going to be, where it's like he's going to be dealing with weird, obscure villains doing strange things.
I guess that's the thing, right? Because the show is limited.
Yeah.
You know it can only really go for that 1 year, and then it really can't it can't really have MJ that much. It obviously will have Ned, and it can have some of these other characters, but it can't really get bigger. The biggest thing it could do really is Uncle Ben, I guess.
I'm picturing something like that Teen Titans cartoon on Cartoon
Teen
Network.
Titans Go?
Yeah.
But even that, though, is like, that's really bizarre out there kind of humor. And it's not always like week over week connected stories, more serialized than anything.
Right.
So I don't know. It would be interesting. I mean, again, we'll give it a try.
Check it out. Check it out.
So looking back at, the billion things that came out or announced today, including the title cards, we will put the title cards as an option. What were you most excited to see? Or actually, even better. Let's do it better. I don't care about what you're excited. What surprised you and what didn't you like? That's it. Only answer those two.
Surprise is easy. It's got to be X-Men 97.
Okay.
Didn't see that coming at all. Thought it was a great surprise. Really, really, like I said, almost saved the whole day for me. Very excited for that show. I think will be a really big bright spot in 2023. Excited to see how that kind of develops.
The sun's supposed to get brighter in 2023. So
so
that might be brighter.
That's even better, right? Because Icarus, spoiler alert for Eternals, flew up there. So, he brightened it up. Boop.
Pop goes the Icarus.
Yeah, he flew too close to the sun.
There you go.
And then, the biggest disappointment, it's got to be Pixar.
The whole Pixar thing.
Pete Docter, what the fuck are you doing?
Wow.
You're the, he's the CEO of the company, and why are you with your gimbal and, you pick up a cookie and you're
What the fuck is what?
Gonna pick up the cookie. Oh, okay, take a cookie. All right, yeah. Yeah, here's a cookie.
I think so.
Anyway,
so
I love Pixar.
Yeah.
Pixar is one of my favorite studios and things and companies, and I was like, this is the low point. Pixar's dead. That's what I. That was
people said that when Cars 2 came out.
Yeah, but that's how I felt today. This is the death of Pixar. This is what you can put for Disney Plus Day. What the fuck is this?
But you have to remember that Disney Plus Day is not about showing the movies, which is what Pixar is known for.
I get that.
It is showing the small screen stuff.
No, I get that. But you are a high-end studio, and that is the product you put out. That's embarrassing. I wouldn't wipe my ass with that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's just I would if I'm a company and that's the product we put out.
Right.
I'd resign that day. You know what I mean?
It was that bad for you?
It was so bad. That was just so.
But short form is not their forte. This is their first.
No, it is though. They're so good. They're also so good at short form. There's shorts that they do and stuff.
Yeah, but those shorts that they put before movies, those aren't a week over week.
I get that
thing that they're
but
doing.
I'm just
That's
saying, they couldn't just. You couldn't put together something better than whatever the hell that was. That was just embarrassing.
Oh my God!
I will point out that one of the three things they announced was your favorite thing.
I did like Win or Lose. I liked the description of it.
Oh wait, two of them, Baymax and Win or
Baymax
Lose.
wasn't Pixar. I mistakenly put it under Pixar, but
it's
not
Disney
Pixar.
Animation Studios.
Yeah, it's a Disney Animation thing.
No,
it's not
different studios.
But the 4 minutes was embarrassing. And, I feel like a piece of me died today.
I'm going to say my biggest surprise of today is your distaste and dislike for the Pixar presentation. That, to me, honestly, I'm very surprised by it. You were very upset by this, and I love it. I think it's fucking hilarious. The thing that I didn't like was the fact that there just didn't feel overall like there was enough overall effort.
Synergy.
Not enough energy it felt put into this. It just felt like you built up a hype for something that kind of lasted a couple hours, and then that's that.
Yeah, I would say that it didn't feel like there was a vision for the day, and I think we kind of talked about it at the top of the show, where it just felt like someone had an idea and everyone was like, "Yeah, just kind of give us what your thoughts are."
Well, to be fair,
that was
fair though, I think like for Disney, the point of today was get more subscribers for Disney Plus. They did have a special promotion running today where it was like $2 or some shit. They dressed up Disneyland with blue carpet or some shit, and they invited a bunch of TikTokers out there. So they got the social discussion. We didn't get invited.
We have a TikTok.
We never get invited to things. There's a reason to.
Well, honestly, if I
Because
saw
of your dislike for Pixar.
if I saw the Pixar thing, you know what? I'm gonna go unsubscribe from Disney Plus right now.
From like my Disney Plus. You're like, yeah.
I'm gonna go from your Disney Plus account and I'm unsubscribing.
Julie becomes this new like Marvel anti-hero, the Disney Plus unsubscriber.
Michael, and I'm subscribing from your account too. Please do. There we go. It's 2.
Last thing I'll say though on Disney Plus that I thought was kind of interesting, they did announce NFT content, which is non-fungible tokens or like digital art, digital collectible things. They were selling at the start at around 6 a.m., 7 a.m. Pacific time. They were going for 60 gems or $60 each, and they're now up to, in the marketplace they're going for as much as $1,000, which I thought was interesting. So Disney Plus is also making a big push for new types of income and new types of products.
Are the Pixar
and
ones
stuff.
all unsold?
That was funny. There was the Wall-E one popped up at 60. I mean, I was trying to get it. It went away very quickly. But that's the only one that I've seen that pop back up. So
I wonder why Pixar is struggling right now.
But overall, Arjuna, I guess we could ask the question. Kind of works, doesn't work. But Arjuna, was Disney Plus Day good for you?
I'm gonna say no. Just it wasn't enough plus. It's too much minus.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
So Disney negative day.
Yeah, it should have. If they really wanted to promote it correctly, it should have been called Disney Minus Day.
Wow. Okay.
So, Ravi, was Disney Plus Day good?
I'm also gonna say no. It again, I think it's my own fault to a degree because I let the hype get in my
Don't
way.
blame yourself. Don't blame Disney.
Yeah, I blame Disney and the TikTokers and the Twitter twits
And blame Krishna.
and the IG thoughts. Like, they all got on my fucking head, man. Everyone's like, Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer, Andor trailer,
And
maybe
Krishna.
Ahsoka.
Specifically Krishna.
Yeah, and Christian, fuck that guy. Where is he? Not even here? Asshole. Tart.
Fuck Krishna.
Yes, Christian is a baked pie. And with that, that's going to do it for us here.
Wait, we should ask Krishna. Krishna, was Disney Plus Day good?
Wait a second. No answer. As per normal. Wow. He just didn't even bother. Anywho, that's going to do it for us here on Was It Good. As always, you can follow us on TikTok, Instagram at Was It Good Pod. You can follow us on Twitter at Was It Good. And like I mentioned earlier, we are live streaming these pods again on Fridays on youtube.com/wasitgood. Our next pod is going to be coming out early next week. No idea what it's going to be on, but follow us on Twitter at Was It Good to find out what it's going to be on. And with that, goodbye.